Rogue? Where we're going, we don't need Rogue.
The following is a world-class Bullshitters exclusive.
So folks, welcome back into X-Men 97, Week 7. Yes, I'm surprised myself that I've continued this trend, but I'm very happy. So each and every week, I come here to talk to you about X-Men 97. The good, the bad, the ugly, some of the animation. But overall, I've enjoyed the show. In this week's episode, well, let me tell you a little bit about this week's episode, and then we'll tell you what I think about it at the end. But there is a lot going on, because every week of X-Men 97 is a never-ending struggle for the X-Men, but it also continues a long-form narrative that so many cartoons or other things that aren't mainstream entertainment are lacking. I know a lot of people complain about streaming schedules and how streaming shows all follow the same formula. I agree, I'm one of those people that complain about it. I find myself not watching the most new streaming shows because a lot of them just feel, well, similar. But X-Men feels like a comic book. It's their never-ending struggle for acceptance by the society in which they're a part of. So X-Men 97 always feels like the X-Men each and every week. And I've always been very kind every episode. And this one is no different. So this one picks up after the aftermath of Genosha. So as we saw a few weeks ago, Genosha was attacked by these Sentinels, and we know that the Sentinels were created by Bolivar Trask. And so does Rogue. So the theme of this week's episode is the Rogue Revenge Tour, and she's got a lot of cities to play, so she's got a lot of work to do. But this episode actually starts out at the funeral of Gambit, where we see that Nightcrawler is the priest who's giving the ceremony, which is great, because X-Men has never strayed away from religion, which is what I like. See, folks, we talk about diversity and everything, but everyone uses diversity as an analog for black and white, or gay or straight, or whatever the modern day issues are, but they don't look about the greater themes of humanity. It's about separation in humanity and unity in humanity, and one of the big things that has separated people over decades, generations, millennia, is different religion. You may have different religious beliefs than other people. That's awesome, and that's what the X-Men does here. It always sticks with these characters being fully fleshed out. And Nightcrawler's Catholicism is one of the most important parts of the character. It's the repentant nature. It's his... There's so much to tie into the religion, and I'm glad that this show does it as well as X-Men 92 did. That show had the balls to show you Wolverine prey and all this stuff about faith. Very rare for a cartoon. Do I want to see more faith-based cartoons? No, I do not. But what I want to see is if you have a character that is a faith-based character, you're not afraid or not allowed to adapt all elements of their character, because that's important to people. That's important to skin color or all this other stuff that we fight and die for on the internet. So it's nice that this show continues to put that on the characters and doesn't stray away from whatever corporately approved look on religion may be for some countries. But after the funeral, we move on to Rogue going around the world looking for Bolivar Trask. We see her go to a government facility, which is run by General Ross. Yes, Rogue starts attacking a military base, and he goes, "There's nothing to worry about, this can keep out the Hulk." Then all of a sudden, the ceiling comes down, and here comes Rogue. So we learn what she's doing, and we see her go to this cabin out in the woods. It's in the snowy mountains, and I'm thinking, wait a second, I know the motorcycle parked by this cabin. And Rogue lands, and she goes and she starts talking to Captain America. Yes, Captain America is in this show. Now remember, Captain America was in the other X-Men show as well. And this show, like I've been saying each and every week, is quickly building a shared animated universe on screen for the modern age. There was a video that came out a couple of weeks ago from some channel talking about the first Marvel Cinematic Shared Universe on the small screen, aka the animated universe, and I liked it for the most part, but there were a couple things that tried to twist and turn and tell you why it wasn't really interconnected. But if we look at the actual basis of everything, it was connected, and now we're back to everything being connected again. Do I want to see Marvel characters show up each and every week on this show? No, this is an X-Men show. I like to know that there's another world out there bigger than the X-Men. That is what Marvel's supposed to do. These universes aren't about making sure that every 5 seconds here comes Ben Grimm and Peter Parker and Hank Pym and all these other jabronis. No, it's about, hey, this is the real world, and like the real world, you may run into your friends or colleagues out in the field. So this is kind of like that. You're on the hunt for a criminal? Well, another superhero might be on the hunt too. They have an interesting conversation about what it means to be good and bad, and how Captain America can't actually go and show support for the mutant causes. He has a reputation to uphold. He wears the uniform. So it shows you that Captain America kind of operates in the gray, because he understands that the mutants are fighting for what's right, and he stands with them but he can't publicly state it. So this good guy, Mr. Red, White, and Blue himself, really can't do much. Kind of like how America handles certain things in this world. It's very, very well written, and I really liked that scene quite a bit. So the X-Men and Rogue cross paths in Madripoor, and in Madripoor they go find Boulevard Trask. Now, prior to finding Rogue, the X-Men come across these bodies of men wearing OZT. They're trying to figure out what it is. You come to find out that it's this special group tied to the bigger villain of this story. He's a little more sinister. See, this isn't a basic story of mutants and humans. There's a third party trying to control this war from the sidelines. And so after Trask tells the X-Men this, Rogue drops him, and he dies. Yeah, that's not a joke. Rogue went there. Rogue, in her darkest moment, kills Boulevard Trask. The X-Men are surprised. They're shocked that their friend would let a man die in cold blood. But then that man rises up. Here, Trask is no longer a man, he is a new form of Sentinel. So the X-Men have to fight this Sentinel in the streets of Madripoor, and he tears down the building, he's trying to kill them all. You know, Cyclops blows the debris away, Jean Grey uses her psychic powers to throw the top half of the building in the ocean. It's awesome, it's a big epic fight. But the X-Men are outnumbered by one creature, this new, powerful Super Sentinel, and they don't know what to do. Then all of a sudden, a grenade rolls in, explodes, and kills this new Sentinel. Who's the grenade thrower? It is Cable, back from the future. He tells the X-Men all about the plans of these new Sentinels, how to destroy them, and what they have to do. But then, before anything can happen, Cyclops realizes who Cable is. His son from the past, Nathan Summers. I know X-Men is a drama, it's a soap opera for nerds, it's all of those things, and that's when it's the best. So Cable appears to fight alongside the X-Men. He says this line about being abandoned by the future, and they go off to fight in the next episode. So folks, this episode was another winner for X-Men 97. It's a connective tissue episode. I was talking about streaming and how the shows are all formatted a certain way. This is very much a connective tissue story, but that's how stories are really told. Before you go into the final episode arc, you have to have a connective episode, and this is another connective episode. It is full of Easter eggs, set pieces, all kinds of awesome things. This is not a bad episode by any stretch of the imagination, but it's an episode that is building to something greater, so keep that in mind. One last thing. We do see the mastermind, the man behind all of this, the man who Mr. Sinister answers to. So he's even in there as well. We're left wondering, questioning all sorts of things, and that is why this connective tissue episode is pretty good, because it leaves you with a question. It leaves you wondering certain things. It's placed at the right time in this season. Had an episode like this started out the X-Men, this would feel poorly done. But X-Men 97 has built and built and built each and every week to something epic, and this grand finale is something I'm looking forward to. So again, I'm not going to give this a number score. I never do. I'll save that for the end of the series in a few weeks. But folks, let me know what you think about X-Men. Let me know what you think about our reviews of X-Men. Here are your 3 questions for today. Let's bring those back for a little fun, shall we? 1, who's your favorite X-Men character? 2, who's your favorite X-Men artist or writer? And 3, what's your favorite X-Men storyline? Tell me down in the comments below. I'll be reading those myself. My favorite writer of X-Men is Claremont. My favorite artist is probably John Byrne, even though Jim Lee's designs are my absolute favorite. My favorite storyline? I would like to just say the entire Byrne-Claremont run, but I can't because it's not fair. I really do think the Dark Phoenix saga is that great, and hell, here's a bonus answer. X2 is the best movie. So folks, let me know what you think about the X-Men, this show, and everything else down in the comments below. If you enjoy my analysis of writing, well then damn it, you're gonna love my writing. You've had a chance to read it with Stealing Solo, and get ready for Wokebusters. It'll be here on Kickstarter in just a few days. I got the last pages back from my colorist. It is beautiful. I'm gonna show one on screen right now because I'm so excited to share Wokebusters with you. Folks, in the future, will Wokebusters be adapted into a cartoon? Who knows? The future is limitless. It's whatever you make of it. But in the more immediate future, there will be a comic coming to you very soon. So folks, it's a big 105-page epic book. 103 pages. But it's a great story that we can all relate to. In our world, you know, everyone becomes a wet blanket. They go on the internet, they outrage, they make a scene, they whine, they bitch, they moan and complain, and you just roll your eyes and wish, man, I wish something would happen. Well, in this world, that kind of outrage turns people into literal monsters, and it's up to the Wokebusters to stop them and help pull their heads out of their asses. Like I always say, it's a big, sprawling epic, it's a comedy, it's a whole lot more, and it's done, it's on its way, and folks, Well, we're just getting started with all that. Wait till the promotion starts. The trailers, the radio spots, and a whole lot more. And soon, you'll be able to call Wokebusters yourself. A little number is going to pop up at the bottom of the screen on future videos, and you can call the Wokebusters yourself and maybe hire them to help you save yourself from the insufferable. But folks, that's a couple days away. Be on the lookout for that. I can't wait. But until then, folks, 4 things to always do. Be smart, be safe, be cool, but always be excellent to each other.